What's up, cult? It's the one, the only, JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And we have the mom bag, mistress of the monsters, Lana.
Hey, guys.
We have a special edition. We told y'all that it was coming. We're bringing back the killer conversation. And the killer conversation today is going to be about the very popular Gypsy Rose. Before diving into this, God only knows how long this episode is going to be or if it's going to be episodic. These are going to be our personal opinions about it. It shouldn't affect anything. We have to kind of like watch what we say. We're going to talk about a lot of factual stuff, and then we're going to give our personal opinions and feelings about this.
Mm-hmm. And if your opinions are different, that's okay. That's why they're called our opinions.
Yes, and plus we don't want to get sued.
Yep.
So we're not slandering. We're just giving our personal outtake on it. Right, Thunder?
Yep, this is, like you said, the first half, we're going to go through the facts. People might not know a lot about this or might just have a general understanding of it, and we're going to get into it, and then we're going to basically dissect everything that we just said and give our opinions on certain things and everything like that. So the key word is opinion.
Yeah. So without further ado, I just recently heard about the Gypsy Rose case not too long ago. I don't even know where to start with this damn thing.
Well, I guess you can start by saying, just some basic facts.
Her mother had Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Am I saying that right?
Gypsy did. So
Gypsy
her mother gave Gypsy Rose Munchausen syndrome by proxy.
Her mom was a narcissistic, manipulative,
kind of, in my opinion, evil person.
Very evil person. She pretty much faked all these diseases so she could be the center of attention, kind of like the hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely wanted the attention of being the hero in Gypsy's story, and made up all of these false diseases and illnesses that Gypsy had that weren't true.
Yeah, she pretty much made up this story so you would look at her and be like, oh, she's such a good mother, she's such a good person, and that is not the case at all. So she pretty much, I can't say she made up these diseases because they're actual diseases. It's like diabetes, leukemia,
muscular dystrophy,
epilepsy. She couldn't walk. Like
there were vision problems, hearing problems.
She said she drooled too much, had her
drooled too much, sleep apnea.
She had a
feeding tube. Just everything that you can possibly say what's wrong with a person. Mild retardation.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But and the fact that she Gypsy had 4 or 5 birth certificates.
Yeah.
Gypsy was actually born July 27th, 1991, but Gypsy herself thought she was born in 95.
Yeah. Her mom wanted to keep her young.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But she was born in Golden Meadow, Louisiana. So most of the early childhood was in Louisiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The mom's name, by the way, is Claudine. She went by Dee Dee. And she was 24 when she had Gypsy, and her husband, Rod, was only 17. And they was married for a year until
not even.
Yeah. I think they split before Gypsy was born.
Like
they did.
He says he woke up on his 18th birthday and realized that he married for the wrong reasons. He wasn't in love with her, so he kind of split, but he was still, I guess, semi-part of the child's life.
Yeah, from what I gathered in watching the documentary, he was like pretty much in and out, but
yeah, like he was
as much as the mom would allow him to be, pretty much is what I gathered.
Yeah. He was in just enough to be in the know and just out to start his own life.
Yeah,
pretty much. And here's an interesting fact: the name Gypsy Rose comes from a combination of Dee Dee liking the name Gypsy and Rod being a fan of Guns N' Roses.
Oh, that's actually didn't know that. That's funny.
Okay. Well, Gypsy's mom was fucking psychotic. She apparently killed her stepmom or her mom.
No,
she
didn't kill anybody.
Well, I said apparently, supposedly.
She tried to.
She tried to. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was alleged that she was trying to keep her sick using Roundup weed killer.
She was like micro poisoning her with
Roundup. Yeah, she was like sick for like 9 months or some shit, and then they found out.
So her stepmom had became ill, and Dee Dee had became her caretaker. So she was at the house. Gypsy and her were living with them, and one day Gypsy looked at the grandfather and was like, "Oh, that's what Mama gives," whatever she called the step grandmother, and it was Roundup. And so she was super, super ill. She got more ill as she was under the care of Dee Dee. And then when they realized that she was microdosing her basically with Roundup, the stepmom was like, "I don't want you here. Like, you're not welcome here. Kicked her out." And then it took a long time for her to heal, but then she got better.
Yeah.
And everything was fine.
Yeah. So we're just pointing that out just to show the
history
of like psychotic that this woman is, like the type of psycho she is. Mm-hmm. I believe psycho is a good word to describe her. Mentally ill,
for sure.
But I guess apparently she always wanted attention, like even in high school. Mm-hmm. She was always trying to be that person. So, like Todd was saying, she got pregnant at a very young age. The dad was kind of in and out of the life. And then growing up, the first diagnosis she had was what?
She was a toddler. She was a toddler when Dee Dee first started to claim that she was sick. I think it started with the problem sleeping, and epilepsy, I think, was the first two that she kind of ran with. Yeah,
and I guess that's right, when she was an infant, and then things just fucking snowballed from there.
By the time she was 8 was when she had almost all of the other diagnoses of like leukemia, epilepsy, muscular dystrophy.
When did she get the feeding tube?
I think that was when she was around 8 years old.
Yeah, so so some things she has had in life, like the vision problems is a real thing because
they were crossed or something.
Yeah, her eyes are crossed. I mean, obviously you can look at a picture of Gypsy Rose and tell that, she's got that Shawn Michael lazy eye going on for all you wrestling fans out there. It wasn't me. So it's not complete.
There are some things that have some truth to it, right?
Yeah. It's not complete, false. Everything that she had was fake. She had some shit. It just wasn't
a lot of things were fabricated, and the truth was stretched.
And some of it was just plain out
lies.
For instance, she had her salivary glands removed. And the way that she did that was she put Oragel on Gypsy's gums so that she would drool in front of the doctors. Mm-hmm. And tried saying that she just had excessive drooling. She couldn't control her drooling, when in reality she was numbing her gums right before the doctor's appointment so that Gypsy would drool in front of the doctors.
Yeah, and there were other things that she did, like purposely shaving her head, telling her that, well, the medication that you're on is going to make your hair fall out anyway, so we might as well shave it. So they shaved her head to mimic that of a chemotherapy patient. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she would hold her hand, so when Gypsy would talk in front of doctors or anybody, and it was time to stop talking, she would like squeeze it, and Gypsy knew when to shut up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it was...
and even like some of the problems that she really did have were complications of the medicines that she was put on for those things.
Well, it's one of those things where if you're taking medication for something you don't have, you're bound to get something.
Something else, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have a reaction to it. It's
all those side effects that they say could happen.
Yeah, you're going to give yourself side effects for taking medication that you don't need.
Yeah, and
she managed to manipulate the doctor into giving her a fucking feeding tube.
Yeah, and remember they said that when she was a small child, she was on a motorcycle with her granddad, and they were in an accident, and all she did was like scrape up her leg, but her mom like immediately bought a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. Like it was stuff like that. It's like, it's almost like the light bulb comes on when something happens, and she just goes overboard with it. It's like, oh, God, you scraped your leg. You're going to need a wheelchair. Or in her mind, she was like, oh, this is perfect. I can get her in a wheelchair because, if anybody asks, well, she was in a motorcycle accident.
Right. Yeah.
But she won't going to dare tell people, oh, it was only a skin leg,
Well, my question for that is, did she have muscular dystrophy, quote unquote, before that accident or after? Is that
I think
what led to it?
Didn't she start her off on like a walker and gradually graduated to the wheelchair?
I believe so.
Yeah. So that's what had happened. It was probably the motorcycle accident sent it over the top. Like, how can I convince people that this is worse than it is? And then the motorcycle accident happens. It's like, bingo.
Yeah, it's like, we got you.
Yeah, and the grandparents was, they told stories. Was it the grandparents? Somebody told where like a bunch of the kids were out in the yard jumping on the trampoline, and Gypsy was out there having a good time, but as soon as Dee Dee showed up, she yelled at everybody talking about, she can't walk. And they were like, what the fuck do you mean she can't walk? She's jumping on the trampoline.
Right. And as soon as Gypsy saw her mom, because her mom wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, she like fell.
Fell and like went completely like limp. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because she knew the deal.
Yeah.
She knew, she was under the spell, I guess, and she knew that at the end of the day, she was going to be alone with her mom, and her mom, her mom used to take like a clothes rack, like a metal clothes rack, and like beat her in the hands with it and shit like that.
Yeah, apparently she would like love on their animals in front of her as
make her jealous,
like
show more love,
deny her affection, and
show more love to the cat. Like, oh look, the cat listens to me.
We're saying all this because we want you to know that her mother was fucked up. Like,
yeah, these are stories that are told by not only Gypsy but the people like her family and everything else. So these are what we known